Hey everybody, welcome back to Better Odds. Got my boys here. We're going to talk about Week 4 matchups, Week 4 NFL games this week. We are missing one. Ben had some family obligations to take care of today, so I have Randy.
So bad he got out.
and Fuller with me, and we're going to talk about, like I said, Week 4 matchups. Before we do that, let's recap Week 3. We rebounded, gentlemen. We rebounded 9 out of 12 of our lock picks plus the parlay at the end. We hit. So feeling good about that. Feeling like Week 2 is this aberration. Wasn't real. It's out of my mind now. Y'all feeling good about what we did and what we're coming up with this week?
It's never hard to feel bad about winning some cash. I think that 2 out of 3 parlays at plus 500 already in 3 weeks. When people start tuning into this, for the 7 people that watch this, you know what? You're welcome for the first couple of weeks. But when people actually start tuning in and paying attention, that's, if you put $100 on it, even you're already up like $1,000 at least. So
I got a guy, bar regular at work that's made like $3,000 off of us already. So
I hope he's tipping you.
Well, he bought me dinner. He bought me lunch.
That's cool, man. That giving you the tip and buying you dinner. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Wine and dining. No, he bought lunch Thursday. He wanted me to go up there and help him place some bets for this past weekend, and I let him in on our video. But he still watches our videos as well. He don't just skip over it. He watches them every Thursday night. He says
that's awesome, man. But really, I eat food too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Y'all have jobs though, during the day, during lunchtime.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. Who does that? Who works? But if you made any bets this weekend, please let us know. If you used any of our picks, go to the YouTube channel, go to Twitter. Let us see your receipts. Chime in. Let us see what you got. Tell us how we helped you, or if we hurt you in any way. But last week, no. If you made all the 12 bets, same unit, plus the parlay, you were plus money last week. So congratulations for everybody who was plus money. But like I said, go ahead and subscribe to this channel while I'm talking about it. Go to YouTube, subscribe, like these videos, share these videos. If you don't care anything about NFL or football or betting or anything like that, but you have people who do, go and do that. Not for us, but for them, because, we're all in the same business. We're not playing against each other when it comes to sports betting. That's DFS. That's a totally different animal. We don't discuss that. We do sports betting. We're betting against the house. We're making money. We hope you do as well. That's what we're here for, to help you navigate through NFL, which is a wacky season this year. What we got? How many 0-3 teams we got this year already? Panthers. 4. My Vikings would have been your Bengals had they not, kicked the field goal.
Don't worry about us. Yeah.
They scored it. Y'all scored a touchdown. I don't think the other
keep my team's name out your mother mouth.
Fair enough. I wish we had been, because that was, y'all's game last night, and not to have y'all both here.
That's probably why he's not here.
If he just felt like he couldn't face the fire after getting beat down, I get it.
Family obligations could mean, I don't want to be around Randy when he, has to roast my team. So.
I'm not going to say anything, but take the L.
Can we put an asterisk beside my one loss last week? I can't be held responsible for the Saints quarterback being hospitalized while they're up 17 and then just fumbling the game away.
That sounds like some excuses.
Does Jameis need corrective eye surgery again?
More crab leg. Just give him some more crab legs. It'd be all right.
Crab legs will work. Absolutely, they will work. Okay, gentlemen, we got a lot to discuss. Still no bye weeks, so a full slate of games. Once again, some games are a little nasty. Some games we'll skip over pretty quickly. There's only 2 of y'all here today, so this might run a little quicker, but who knows? We get on a tangent about something. We will talk about it, and we'll just have fun with it as we always do. So we're going to start out with a Thursday night game. The Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. The line on this game is Detroit -1.5. And then the total is 45.5. Fuller. Last week, the aforementioned Saints implosion to Green Bay with Green Bay at home up 17-0 at halftime. And then here comes Jordan Love. And I heard, and Randy knows about this, you heard it, and you have to hear it from us. The love train was all about it. So, Fuller, what do you have on this game?
That sounds like a made-up train, but I like the Lions to win this one. Short week. I just don't think the Packers are going to be able to keep up with the Lions' offensive attack. I know it's at home, but really the Packers played 3 bad quarters of football this past week, and I feel like kind of got bailed out with the Derek Carr injury. So the Lions' offense is a lot better than the Saints, and I think they just outscore the Packers. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up. So I think the line right now is -1.5 Detroit. I think they cover. I mean, I don't think they don't cover by a lot, but I feel good with -1.5 that Detroit covers that.
Randy, you got anything on this game?
I'm not going to use that goofy love saying, but there was a song by Future and Rihanna. It was LOVEEEN affection. So I'm going to have some love and affection for Jordan Love this week. I like his over 225 passing yards, -128 on FanDuel. He's been over in 2 of his 3 games so far this year. And Detroit is only allowing 441 yards per game through the air to opposing quarterbacks.
Only?
So I'm going to assume Love can get over 225 at home.
That seems a little exaggerated, but
it was hard to believe. There's actually one team that was worse. And
is that a real stat?
Yeah.
Was that the Vikings?
No, it was not the Vikings.
The Broncos.
It was the Seahawks.
Seahawks. Wow. Okay.
Oh.
They did that to each other. They did that to each other in week 2, though. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably inflated, like small sample size and whatever, but even Detroit was piss poor last year against the pass. I think they were a worse team last year too, so it's not nothing changed, but yeah, 225 should be easy.
Should be money.
That looks like a quarterback. Jordan Love looks like a quarterback.
He's getting a rapport with other receivers. He's doing things.
Where are you getting your stats from? They give up 225 a game through the air.
Where are you seeing that at?
ESPN. Detroit is middle of the pack in giving up yards.
Well, maybe it was the wrong stat then. But still, I'm going to go 225. You said it was 225 anyway. I'm not going for the 441.
No, he's like,
there's no defense that bad out there. I had to go check it. I mean, the Chargers are at 337. That's the worst mark.
It was on lineups. That's the name of the site that I got it off of. So apparently they lined it up wrong. Probably that dude from Kansas City put it on the damn internet because he can't line up on sides anyways.
Yeah.
Was he staring at Taylor Swift the whole time, lining up offsides?
I don't know what the hell he was staring at, but he cost me a fucking truckload of money.
Truckload. Okay, gentlemen, anything else on this Thursday night game, or shall we move on?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Moving on to Sunday. First game I have locked and loaded. Falcons at Jaguars. 2 teams that – do we even know their identities right now? I don't think we do.
Disappointing.
Yes, to say the least, especially about the Jaguars for sure. Jaguars are -3 at home. Total 43.5. Randy, anything on this game?
I mean, we probably don't know their identity because both these teams probably want to go into witness protection after the way they looked over the weekend. But I'm going to take the Jacksonville team total under 23.5 on DK at -120. Jacksonville's averaging 19 points a game. Atlanta's actually been a top 10 defense, ? And they've only allowed 18 points per game. And I know Jacksonville's used to playing, in at Wembley or whatever. That's pretty much their home away from home, but they just don't seem right. Something seems off about the team. And this Atlanta defense is actually pretty good, which I haven't been able to say for like 5 years. So, yeah, under team total on Jacksonville, under 23.5, -120.
And I did forget to mention, yes, this is a game in London, our first game over there this year. I think there's 3 or 4 games this year over there. And then it's a 9:30 Eastern start time. So, Fuller, what do you have on this game?
I like Jaguars to win. I'm probably going to tease it down to money line. -3 right now. I think Jacksonville. I mean, Wembley's like their home away from home, like Randy said. I like them in London, so I think Jaguars win. I don't know if I trust them enough to take the spread, but money line here, I feel good about them.
Well, I got one play here, gentlemen. I got a narrative with this one. It's all about revenge. 2 touchdowns from Calvin Ridley. Take that as you will.
Shit, he'll bet on that.
Yeah.
Probably illegal to. I don't know if jurisdiction of the NFL goes across the pond. I'm sure it does, but
I'm pretty sure they'll get you.
How did he not hire a fall guy? Like, just put it in some random dude's account, man. Like, send me a mill, and you can bet whatever you want on my account. Pay the taxes.
A little bit of a percentage.
Pay the taxes. Give me a cool meal. You can
just call, yeah. Call it up.
Yeah, and then just pay for an autograph.
Right.
Hey, I would like this $20,000 autograph from you.
You could phone it in as Mike Honcho or whatever, whatever.
Jack off.
Yeah. I mean, what was Michael Vick's thing? Is that right?
I don't know about Michael Vick's thing. That's all you, buddy.
No, it's his alias name. But anyway, yeah, just do that. Napoleon Dynamite for all I care.
Just call it Michael Vick's thing. I mean, what could go wrong?
Yeah. We're going to move on from this game unless y'all have anything else, gentlemen.
No, I'm good.
Oh, and those of you who play fantasy football yearly, make sure you set your damn lineups before this game. It's hard sometimes, but do it the night before at least. Come on now. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. Right. I mean, you don't want to get caught with – I don't personally think you want to get caught with anybody in this game much. So if you do have anybody, get them out.
If you're playing me, just feel free to go on and leave it unset. Just leave those guys in.
Unless it's Calvin Ridley.
You're probably not playing Falcons pass catchers, but I mean, you're probably still going to play Bijan. I mean, he's going to get you something. He'll get you at least some PPRs. He's going to get you something.
We are going to move right along, and I am going to have to pause for a moment. This next game, we have a video clip to show from last week. Pertaining this game, and it's pertaining to Miami Dolphins. And if y'all will, please take a look. Before I get to Michael, I think a lot of that had to do with the Denver's defense also contributing to letting Washington get back in that game.
Well, that's what I was saying. Miami's offense is way better than Washington's. So
if they do that with Miami, if they do it with Miami, that defense, Miami could hang 70 though. But yeah, that was my take on the Dolphins. Putting up 70 last week, which, guess what? It happened. I don't think I was really being, I was being very facetious about that. I thought they would allow a lot of points after what they allowed to Sam Howell and the Commanders, but I didn't think Miami would go off for 70. And they had a chance to break the record, too, with a field goal at the end, and they were classy enough to just kneel the ball out and finish the game. They're playing the Bills, and like I said, at Bills this week. The Bills are -3, and the total is 53.5, which I think is low. But Fuller, what do you have in this game?
I actually like Dolphins money line here. I think they've been super hot to start off the season. I know the Bills crushed the Washington football team Commander Redskins, but that Dolphins offense is just something special to start this year, especially if they have Waddle back. I mean, heck, they didn't have Waddle last week. They might have scored 100 if they had Waddle. I like Miami money line here. I mean, Buffalo's favored by 2.5, but I think you kind of ride the hot hand here with Miami, unless they burned all their points up last week. But I like the Dolphins. I mean, the Bills have been solid, I guess, to start the year. But I mean, losing to the Jets week 1 wasn't exactly a confidence booster for me. So I'm gonna take Dolphins money line and lock it in.
Randy?
I'm going to go the opposite. A team that hangs 70, they're riding high. I get it. They beat the shit out of the Broncos, but this is a different team than Buffalo. Buffalo's at home. Divisional matchup. These people know each other very well. Who knows what Waddle looks like? I mean, beating up on Russ and those trashy receivers from Denver is fairly easy compared to coming out here against Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, these guys. So who knows if Waddle's playing this week. I don't really love anything for this game, but if I was going to bet something, I'd take Buffalo money line on DK at minus 142. I just think this one's more of a gut kind of play. I just feel like Miami will come back to earth. It'll be a close game, but I think Buffalo wins.
I don't have a good feeling about either defense. I mean, I know Buffalo held the Commanders to 3 this past weekend, but I just don't feel like they can hold Miami down to that. Not when they're up. Miami's by progression. They're not going to score 70. They're not going to score 60. They're not going to score 50 this year again. Not going to happen.
Careful. I think they do play us at some point this year.
No, they're not going to score. They're not going to score that many again. They're not. I'm firmly going to stand my ground on that one. They will not score over 50 the rest of this year. But that over is low to me. I mean, 53.5. I mean, there's no way.
27-26, essentially.
Well, one of those teams is getting in the 30s for sure. And this game is, like I said, within a 3-point spread right now. I don't see it not being in the high 50s to early low 60s as far as the total. That's just me personally.
Is this like when you called the Bengals Browns game?
No, this is the opposite. This is totally
roll that clip. That 34-31.
Yeah.
Roll that.
Yeah, this is not that shootout. This is like me calling 70 Miami last week. It's that one. It's not going to be that for Miami. It's not going to be that for Buffalo either. But this game's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. And this is a rematch of I think their playoff matchup last year, I should say. So, yeah, it's gonna be a raucous crowd in Buffalo as it always is. Miami thinks they have the upper hand in the division right now, and so we'll see what happens. Anything else on this game, gentlemen?
No, I'm good.
Okay, we will move on to I think a game we could possibly skip, but we will talk about it nonetheless. Steelers, Texans. Steelers are -3 on the road, 42.5 total. Randy, anything on this game, sir?
I mean, I don't love a whole lot about anything this week, so I'm going to go ahead and preface every one of my picks this week, just like use caution. I felt pretty good about last week, but yeah, I just feel like I'm reaching a little bit this week. I'll take the Houston team total over 19.5. Pittsburgh hasn't looked great on either side of the ball. Like, feels like they're playing in spurts, so they look good 1 minute, they look bad the next. Normally, I would ride automatic running back touchdown against Houston, but who knows which running back it's going to be. I mean, Warren looks so much better than Najee Harris. A lot more explosive. Looks like it's like Najee's running in quicksand or something. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but they just need to get him up out of there and start playing Warren. But I'll take the over on Houston team total over 19.5 on DK at -120. Pittsburgh allows 23 points a game. Houston scoring 22 points a game. I mean, Houston probably get exactly 20, honestly. They probably get a couple of touchdowns, a couple of field goals. That's it.
Michael?
I'm going to take Texans to cover at +3 for them. Or at least that's what I'm seeing. I'm with Ray. I don't trust these teams. I think the Texans show promise, and I think they're going to fight hard. But, I mean, that Steelers defense it's all right. I don't think it's as good as it's been in the past, but I think I can give the Texans some fits. But I've been on here multiple times before. I'm not a big Kenny Pickett fan. I don't think he's that good. I'm going to go Texans cover. It's at home for them. So I'm going to go they cover at +3.
I think Stroud is getting more comfortable in the NFL.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He's getting his legs under him. He's starting to fill things out. He doesn't have all the weapons that he would like to have, and his offensive line is still atrocious. But
that's a Texans legacy thing, though.
Mm-hmm, but he's finding ways to get things done like he did this past week. So we shall see about this game. It's going to be an interesting game. I don't have any take on it really, but we will move on if y'all are good with that.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm going to go to the Rams, traveling over here to the east to face the Colts. So that's actually a central time zone, but actually it's Indy and East. Yeah, it's in central time. Still, it's a West Coast team traveling east. The line has just moved since I've been talking. It's now -1.5 Colts, and the total is 46.5. Michael, anything on this game?
I like Rams money line. I think they're just the veteran team here. I don't love that they're having to travel and start a 1:00 game, but I think Stafford with the weapons they have on offense, and then I think Aaron Donald will be a game wrecker once again on defense. I think the Rams money line win it.
Randy?
I'm going to take Stafford for 250 plus passing yards. Seattle's given, or the Rams are giving up a ton.
Can't get away from the Seahawks.
Indianapolis has given up a bunch of passing yards this year. Yeah. I just like Stafford 250 plus. There's no line that I like on this game. There's not really a whole lot that I like at all for this game. Stafford's averaging 303 yards per game this year. That Puka Nakua, I think is how you say his name, and Tutu Atwell, all these guys just look like they're just zone beaters. They just run out, find an open spot, sit down, catch the ball, and they just keep moving the chains. Tyler Higbee looked like an NFL player over the weekend. Kyron Williams could have caught 10 balls if they could have just got on the same page. Like every dump off he tried to give him, he just threw it over his head by like a foot. I can't imagine that happens again. So I like Stafford for 250 plus through the air. There's no line on it, but I'd imagine it's probably 130s probably when it comes out.
Do we know if AR's playing this week?
That's what I was about to ask was, do we have any confirmation on that? He should be close to being out of concussion protocol, I believe.
Stafford?
AR
No.
Richardson.
Oh, I was about to say, if you're talking about Stafford, he plays through anything.
Yeah. No, Richardson.
Well, he took the extra week, so like I've had a lot of concussions in my life, and like he should be good 2 weeks later.
I guess it was I don't know if he passed concussion protocol and would have been able to play, but I think if he did, he passed it late and wasn't able to practice in, and they want him to have at least one practice before.
I mean, he's a rookie.
Sunday, so.
He's a rookie. They don't want to like start compounding head injuries rookie year. So I mean, like if they probably just gave him an extra week to like get fully right and then get back on it.
Yeah, I believe he should be playing this week from everything I know, but we shall see. Garner did just fine, but if Richardson's out there, it makes them better. I mean, we saw the glimpse of him 2 weeks ago with 2 rushing touchdowns. So
he was about to cook Houston that week.
Yeah,
if he get
like the first quarter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. If he get a full game in this week against that Rams defense, stingy last night, and but in other games, like not so much.
Well, they didn't play very good offense last night, so
I mean, like anybody who watched the game, Burrow can't plant. Like he's literally just like moving backwards and then trying to throw without moving his legs. You ever try to throw a football without your legs moving at all?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
He's just stuck right now. Like he needs to honestly sit out a couple of weeks, get right, and then come back. Like we don't need him that bad right now.
Anthony Richardson is far from being immobile. He will run on that team. So
yeah, no question.
Yeah. So that game, to me on paper, it looks like that -1.5 is it's almost an easy bet for me. I think Indy covers that, but
we're all over the place with our bets so far. We're like on each side of every game.
I'm just trying to chime in a little bit to give a little extra, since Ben's not here, I'm giving a little bit more than I usually would as a host, but again, at the end of the day, y'all are going to be the ones locking in picks, not I. Ben's got his locks in, so we'll talk about those later. Moving on, if y'all are good with this.
Yeah, I'm good.
Vikings, yeah. Fuller's Panthers, yeah. Neither team looks good, by the way.
Your team looks just as trash as my team. Don't act like you introduced me.
I was just saying, because it's my team, okay? And I don't care about your team at all. But Vikings are favored 3.5 on the road in Carolina. And then the implied total is 45.5. Randy.
Yeah, don't come to me with this. Like, I don't want any part of this trash. You guys can take this. I'm just going to set this one out.
You're going to set it out, sit back
Go
and
on,
let us
grab my
it
drink.
out.
Let's go listen
Fuller,
in.
what do you have on this?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't see how JJ doesn't just destroy us in this game. Like the second half of games, we just can't seem to cover anybody. Hell, everybody's hurt. I mean, I think we're missing Luvu's hurt now. Like 2 corners are out. Safety Xavier Woods is out. Like, I don't see how this Vikings offense just doesn't shred us on the field. Honestly, I like Minnesota to cover it -3.5. I'd love to think that we'll win this game, but I just don't see how we're going to keep up with Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, all the Suns. We're just not going to be able to keep up with it.
Typically, you have to get us in the first half. And
We're not
typically, though,
I don't think we scored a touchdown the first half all year.
and
We
here
scored one this week.
and here lately, Jefferson, he disappeared that first game in the second half, but the last couple games, I think they've taken care of him in the second half.
We don't have a corner to cover him. JC Horn's out.
Yeah, but we find, and we are finding more and more ways to lose.
That is the only part that scares me. I think if you took out the equation of how good you guys are at finding ways to lose, this game's an easy pick. But
we may invent another way to lose this weekend. Who knows?
the only way you'll lose this game is a pick six, 2 pick sixes.
It's the inverse of last year. It's the inverse of last year. Every one of those one possession games that you were like, 8-1, 9-1 last year, all that regression is just hitting you right in the mouth right now. And all these one possession games, you're just dropping them. Regression
is a son of a bitch. It really is. It happens, and it's not.
That's
good.
why I'm not picking anything in this game because I can't trust either one of these teams to cover anything.
I'll throw out my narrative again for this one. It's revenge narrative. Adam Thielen, 1 touchdown.
That'll match the season high.
It will. That'll almost match the season high for the team.
He's seen the box least frequently than you have.
Yes, it's true.
I actually think I'm going to lock in the Vikings at -3.5.
Whoa. We're taking L's this early in the video. Okay.
Oh,
man.
Okay.
I'm going to lock him in, but I'm going to tease it down to -2.5. I don't have that much faith in the Vikings. So
just lock both sides so you can get one right.
Disclaimer to everyone listening. We know Fuller's stance. It's almost like a reverse psychology for his team. He's trying to bet them. He's trying to bet them so he makes money if they lose. But if they lose, if they don't look, if he doesn't win the bet, his team probably wins. So
skip. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know that I've picked them any week. I haven't picked them yet to win. I thought they'd cover in a couple of them, but
you haven't picked them. But then you're like, I'm gonna pick against the Panthers. They're probably gonna win this week.
Yeah, but now that I've seen 3 weeks, I think I know what this team is gonna look like.
Just go the other way. Just pick the Panthers money line so you guys can get a win. Get on the board.
I can't do it.
It might be how it works.
The fact that we're 3.5-point dogs at home to a team that's 0-3 and can't get out of their own way should say enough.
Which is essentially a touchdown. 3.5 plus the 3 for being at home, basically.
No, I agree. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to tease it down to -2.5 for Minnesota and lock it in.
We're going to move on from this game because we spent entirely way too much time talking about 2 teams that are may not even get a win this weekend. That tie bet might be that prop bet for a tie might be in play this weekend for sure on that game.
I mean, I like the overtime play.
The overtime play? Yeah.
Yeah, just the game to go to overtime is probably plus like 1,000.
Yeah.
If you just want to throw something on it just to see what's up.
Yeah, I think Carolina scores more points in this game than they scored all year. Mark it down.
Depends. I think right now we do better with Dalton in, but I think we got to play Bryce if he's healthy. Got to get him reps. But we can go to the next game.
Yeah, we're gonna move on from that game to another equally bad game. This is, I'm gonna dub it the Jameis Winston Bowl. It is Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Tampa is, New Orleans is a 3-point favorite. The total is 40.5. Jameis Winston will be starting. All signs point to that. I don't see Andy Dalton in that AC joint injury. I don't see them rushing him back. I've already heard multiple reports that he's not going to be coming back anytime in the near future. So,
what about Derek Carr, though?
Who'd I say?
Andy Dalton.
Oh, yeah, I got stuck on Andy Dalton.
Got the red rifle on your mind, huh?
Yeah, Andy Dalton did play for the Saints at one point, okay? He's played for every team. So, Derek Carr. Yeah, exactly. Carr is AC joint issue, not going to play. Jameis will play. Jameis will be the starter unless they decide to start Taysom Hill, which they've done before, but I doubt it because they need him other places. Against, of course, Baker Mayfield. And Tampa Bay looked really, really, really juvenile and bad against the Eagles. But I guess the Eagles will do that to a lot of teams. So, Michael, you start us off.
I think I like the Buccaneers to cover. I mean, it's -3 New Orleans right now.
It is.
I think if they just could have made a few more plays against the Eagles yesterday, it would have been better. I mean, obviously, I guess that goes for any game, but I thought Mike Evans had kind of an uncharacteristic game for himself. There's probably 2 or 3 balls that he would normally catch, and he just didn't. And Jameis likes to turn the ball over. He didn't look very good against Green Bay. I like the Buccaneers to bounce back and at least cover. That would be the safest bet. I think the Bucs will win, but I'm gonna go safe on this one. It's a division game, so you never know how the teams will come out fired up. So I'm gonna go Bucs cover.
Randy?
I mean, you can take the AC out of the joint in this one. I'm just going to take a joint, take a break, grab a sandwich. This game is nasty. I don't want anything to do with this. This is almost the same as the last game. I don't trust either one of these teams. We're talking about Jameis Winston versus Baker Mayfield in 2023. Like, come on, guys. Can we get some real quarterbacks? And, like, what are we doing? I can't watch.
This game is ugly. Absolutely. And the Saints defense, I think it's why it's the only reason why this game is favored for the Saints. The offense isn't going to do anything. The 40.5 is I might tease it up to 43.5 and then take the under on it because it's going to be low. But I will move on if y'all are ready. We'll speed this thing up. Yeah. We're going to move on to the Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly's an 8.5-point favorite at time of video. Total is 44.5. Randy, anything on this game, sir?
I'm going to take the total touchdown under of 5.5. I feel like Commanders play hard. Their defense is not terrible. Philly's defense looked a lot better the other night. I just think this is one of those games where it's like slow. Washington's going to run the ball 500 million times. I mean, Philly's even running the ball a lot right now with Swift. Looks like he might be an all right running back. I just feel like it's going to be slow pace, but the clock's just going to keep grinding. And 6 touchdowns between the two of them, I just don't see it. You can get it on FanDuel for -144. It's got a little juice on it, but there's not really a lot to love this week. Everything's just kind of priced where I think it should be. And this is another one of those games where it's just that's the only thing I could find to even put money on.
Michael?
Yeah, if I'm going to take anything, I'm going to go with the Eagles cover just because they've covered every game so far. I'm with Randy. I don't think the Eagles passing game is quite developed as well as it had last year. Like they seem like they've got some disconnects somewhere out there. But I mean, that Philly team is just so talented. I mean, even at 8.5, I mean, Commanders didn't look good last week against a pretty solid Buffalo Bills defense. And that Eagles defense to me is even nastier. So I'm gonna go Eagles to cover it -8.5.
Jalen Hurts is going to have a rushing touchdown most likely in this game. That's all I have. I don't have anything else. We want to proceed to the next game? Because this next game is going to be fun.
If it's the Broncos, we can just skip it.
No, we can't skip it. This is a battle for, I don't know, Caleb Williams, perhaps. Maybe the real tank team is here. We thought Arizona was last week. Maybe this team, one of these teams.
Well, the problem is Broncos still have to pay Russ. It ain't gonna do him any good.
I thought we already talked about Minnesota.
Yeah, I know. To think that an 0-3 matchup could be worse than our 0-3 matchup. Well, no, we have it right here.
If Minnesota loses to us, they need to just trade Kirk Cousins and tank for Caleb Williams.
You wouldn't have an argument for me ever on that one. Broncos at Bears. Broncos are 3.5-point favorites. Total is 46 in this game. Michael, where do we start if we start at all?
I personally don't even want to start. Man, I look at this and at times I feel good about Denver covering that -3.5. I think it is right now, and then I think about, well, are they even going to be able to make it out there as a team this week after the shellacking they took from Miami? And then I think about the Bears and how lifeless they look every game. Maybe Denver money line. I mean, and I don't even feel good about that. One of these teams could lose by 10, and I still don't know which team it would be.
Randy, before we get into your bets, if you have any, is Justin Fields the worst quarterback in the NFL?
No.
They're still Zach.
Is he the worst starting quarterback in the NFL?
No.
Okay, then proceed if you have anything to bet.
But if you're asking me, is he a starting quarterback in the NFL?
That's also no, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just the upper echelon, and then there's teams like this. Denver, Russ looks like he is cooked. I mean, I can't even explain. Usually there's that gradual, he came into the league, he'd been kicked around in college a little bit, chip on his shoulder, work ethic was great, came into the league, took it by storm, won a Super Bowl, got to another, should have won 2. Pete Carroll, don't even get me started on that, but should have won 2 Super Bowls. And then here this dude is, he goes to Denver, loses all of his work ethic, wants to have all this, special accommodations for him as the quarterback and treating his teammates like crap. He just disconnected from the team. And I think it just pissed everybody in the building off. He's gone. He's got to be gone soon. As soon as they can cut that contract, he's got to be gone. Because I guarantee you Sean Payton doesn't want to work with him. He already told him to quit kissing effing babies. It's not good inside the building in Denver. But then you look at Chicago, I saw that Spider-Man meme where it's just Justin Fields pointing at Mitch Trubisky, pointing at who was the coach that just left Chicago? The dude was terrible. Nagy. And then dude that's there now looks like he's just the same guy. They're just out there pointing at each other. I don't know what to take in this game. The number's set so low. Vegas thinks it's going to be a crappy game. What's the total on it? 40?
46.
46.
But then you think about how bad both defenses are, and you're like, well, maybe. Yeah. And then you look at the offenses, you go, doubtful. It's just so hard. This game is the biggest wild card ever.
I mean, I wish Ben was here this week because I wish he had more conviction in some of these games. I just Tampa Bay, New Orleans is just vomit. Denver, Chicago is bad. Your guys' game is bad. It's probably good. Your guys' game is probably good for fantasy, but this looks like a week I'm gonna ride with DFS a lot more than I'm gonna bet because I just don't see anything where I'm that jumps off the page that I gotta have. It's just you're just getting your money in bad this week. I feel like if you bet on anything.
We got anything else in this game? I mean, I'm sure we don't.
Wow,
we literally talked about it as long as we could, and we had to put some filler in there for sure.
I'm still gonna love Russ for the $6K he got me 2 weeks ago, but otherwise, I don't see it. I think he's just cooked.
Yeah, he has been, and I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel for this team. I think they need a whole rebuild. Yep. Sean Payton needs to tear it and burn it all down to the ground. And not even in his defense, he's doing things that are not healthy for that team by allowing Vance Joseph to still be coordinating right now.
But there's so many like bad quarterback contracts. Stop paying Kirk Cousins all this money. Stop paying Daniel Jones. Stop paying Russell Wilson. Like,
I get it, but I don't believe that Russ is necessarily the X factor of why they've lost these 3 games. I do believe that defense is absolutely trash. I mean, when a team puts 70 points on you, that defense, I don't care how good that offense is, that defense is trash. Vance Joseph needs to go, and I don't know why Peyton's keeping him around. You know, he only knows that. So,
I mean, last year they were probably the best defense in football. You just didn't know because their offense scored 6 a game.
Well, this year minus the Raiders game in the first
they're
week.
Obviously the worst statistical defense in football now.
And they're absolutely hot garbage. I mean, nothing good about that team on the defense side of the ball that I can see. We're going to move on though. We have talked entirely too long about this game. Bengals, Titans. Bengals are 2.5-point favorites. The total is 40.5. Low total on the board. Randy, I don't think Joe Burrow is jumping off of anything, page or just
bench
hopping around. I mean, it's just nothing. He needs to, like you said, a couple weeks off, doesn't he? At least.
I mean, if you watch the game, dude, he can't even plant his legs to push off. He's right-handed, takes his drop. He wants to plant that back leg and just drive off his right leg and push forward, and he just can't. So it looks like he's hopping, like he's in one of the sack potato things. And he's just hopping backwards, and he can't push to throw the ball. He's almost jumping and then just releasing the ball, which, I mean, even with that being said, that's pretty much Ryan Tannehill as a quarterback, healthy. Is Joe Burrow with no legs. Lieutenant Dan Burrow out here is probably better than Ryan Tannehill. I don't feel good about it, but I do think Cincinnati gets back to 2-2. It's probably a 27-24 game. I do think there'll be points. And Tennessee's tough. They're at home. I don't like giving up the points with Cincinnati, but I'll take Cincinnati money line. I think Burrow when you look at the talent on the team, Cincinnati's just way more talented of a team than Tennessee. I think they got to get the win. They need it.
Fuller, you got anything on this game?
Yeah, I'm with Randy on this. I think the Bengals' talent alone will prevail. I mean, all Tennessee's really got at this point is Derrick Henry, and I'm not going to lie, he hasn't looked completely great to start the year. I was trying to see what the Bengals were in rush defense, see if that would really play into it. But
I mean,
they're actually towards the bottom end of the league against run. So do it what you want there. I mean, they're third to last in giving up rushing yards a game at 151 a game.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins has also completed the circle of go to Tennessee to die as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Julio before him.
Randy Moss.
Didn't Johnson used to play for the Texans go there too for a day?
Yeah, Andre Johnson. Yep.
Yeah.
Did Jerry Rice go there?
No, he went to the Raiders and then he went to Seattle.
AJ Brown's doing it the opposite direction. He started there. He's like, I got hurt a lot right there before the end. I got out before it completely retired me.
Apparently it hits if you get drafted there too, because Brown got the hell up out of there, but Treylon Burks looks like crap. I mean, their best receiver is sadly probably that Nick Westbrook-Akine dude who just catches bombs and doesn't do anything else.
Mm-hmm. If I had to choose anything, though, I'm going Bengals money line in this game.
Fair enough. I think, like I said with Randy earlier when he talked about Burrow needs to sit. I believe this Bengals team can win. Can win without him. Jake Browning can manage the team with all the weapons that are on the team efficiently enough and be more mobile and be more, able to get away from pressure than Burrow can right now. I can actually probably throw the ball a little bit further downfield for Chase and stuff like that through the air. And like I say, he doesn't have to do much. He's got enough talent around him. I think Burrow needs to take a step back and Burrow, from what I know, Burrow's got a pretty large ego, and he's probably telling the coach that he don't want to come out, and he's good, but we can all see differently.
I know that, like, even as bad as he looked last night, he looked better last night than he did the last couple of weeks. He just needs like 2 weeks. If we can just get go 1-1, right, and just be close to 500 when he comes back, if he's 100%, like we're going to start rolling off some wins because our schedule gets pretty easy right now.
Well, your schedule is tough to start off with. I mean, at Cleveland week 1.
Yeah.
And then at Baltimore week 2?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty tough. I mean, you would have liked to come away with one of those, but Cleveland's been a solid team. They've got a good defense. The offense does just enough. I mean, it's not been a bad team so far.
We just caught them at 100%. Like, if they'd lost Chubb, I don't think they would have won that game. I think we would probably – it would have been closer, you know.
I mean, y'all were within, what, 17, 20?
We did put up 3, yeah.
You kept it within 20? Yeah, so no Chubb there. You guys easily keep it within 10.
I can see that.
We are going to move on, sadly, to the last 1 o'clock game. Ravens at Browns, at the aforementioned Browns and the aforementioned Ravens. I am flying blind, gentlemen. I have no line on this game minus the total. It's 40.5. Can somebody give me a DK prop or DK line because the FanDuel line is non-existent?
I mean, I can give you
spread nor money line.
I can give you what?
2.5. Cleveland.
Spread's 2.5. Who?
Minus 2.5. Cleveland.
Okay, so that'd be the money line on Cleveland. But the total is 40.5. So Fuller, you take it from here. You have anything on this game?
I like the Browns at home again. The Ravens really haven't looked that impressive when you figure in that, yeah, they beat the Bengals, who haven't looked very good with Burrow hurt. But, I mean, the Ravens lost to the Colts last week and Gardner Minshew's solid, but they shouldn't be losing to the Colts. So I think Browns win this at home again. They've got, Ford's filled in for Chubb and hasn't seemed to miss a beat. Watson's starting to look a little more comfortable with Amari Cooper. The Ravens' offense just doesn't look any better. I know they went and got Todd Monken from Georgia to be their offensive coordinator, but they haven't gelled yet. It doesn't look any better. So I'm going to go Browns at home. I'd like to take money line, though. I know they're 2.5-point favorites, but it is a division game. I think it's going to be close. So I go money line Cleveland. It shouldn't cost you too much to get there.
Randy?
I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go Baltimore money line. I know it's plus 124. There's just something about this Cleveland team that I don't know. I just don't like them. I never have. I feel like Watson's going to come out, probably throw a pick. I do think Jerome Ford looked good his first game, but he actually just got really lucky in that second game by getting in the box twice. I think he had 26 yards rushing or something like that. It wasn't a lot. And he might be an okay player long term, but I also see Cleveland doing something stupid and trying to work Kareem Hunt in this game when I think Kareem Hunt's been cooked. I don't know. Another gut play. I don't feel good about it, but if I had to pick something, I would take Baltimore money line. I just think that Baltimore is just a very solid team. They have been for decades.
We got anything else in this game, gentlemen?
No, I'm going on.
Okay. I'm going to move on to the 4 o'clock slate. On Sunday, we got the Raiders at the Chargers. Chargers are -6 at home, 47.5 total. Randy, what's your play on this game?
I think the over. Both these defenses suck. Garoppolo looks like he's all right. He's completing 70% of passes, something like that. Herbert's not shy of scoring points. I just find a way to lose every game. So I think it probably ends up – I honestly think the total in this game probably ends up at 48, but you can get it over 47.5 right now at -115. This is one of the plays that I like the most this week. But, yeah, I just think there's a lot of points here.
Michael?
I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in and say Raiders cover it. You said it's -6 Chargers right now?
Chargers, yes.
I think Raiders cover. I'm going to lock it in. They didn't look particularly good against the Steelers, but the Chargers always keep it close, man. They do not like to win by a lot. It's just not in their nature. So I'm going to go with Raiders keep it within 6. I'm going to lock that in.
Anything else we want to talk about on this game, or are we moving on?
No, I'm good.
Let us go to New England at Dallas. Dallas is 6.5-point favorites. The total is 43.5. Dallas got beat by the Cardinals over this past weekend. Do we see them bouncing back? Because, by the way, the Patriots, they scored, I think, 15 in their win against the Jets. Michael, what do you have on this game?
That's – I don't know. I don't have a good pulse on this game. The Cowboys have kind of knocked me off of where I thought they were at after losing to the Cardinals pretty handedly last week. It is in Dallas. I don't love that they're favored by 7, though. I think the Patriots will cover that. I don't feel great about it, but I think the Patriots will cover 7 points.
Randy, I think we discovered that the Cowboys defense a little bit fraudulent after their first 2 games, and then regression came back down to earth. So we know that the Jets and the Giants are not good offensively. We know that for a fact. It wasn't necessarily the Dallas defense is amazing. It was that was the fact, because we saw an Arizona team that hung up, 27 against the Giants 2 weeks ago, and then they come back and hang up more points against Dallas. You have anything in this game?
I'm never going to pick against New England when they're +7. They get a full touchdown. This team just plays hard. I mean, Belichick defensively, he's been coaching defensive ball for 40 years in the NFL now. Like, I just don't see any way that they get blown out by a team that has Dak Prescott at quarterback. So, yeah, I'm going to take New England +7. FanDuel -120 on that one. I feel pretty good about that one. I think it's a push, worst-case scenario.
Mm-hmm. We got anything else to discuss, gentlemen, on this game?
No.
Okay. Our last afternoon game, 4:25 game. Those Cardinals I just talked about are traveling to San Fran. The spread is -14 for the 49ers. And the total is 43.5. Randy,
what's up?
Do you have anything on this game? I mean, that's 14. That 14-point spread is like huge.
I'm not touching this game at all. Like, obviously, I love San Francisco to win, especially after Arizona's flying high off a win against Dallas. I do think San Francisco puts in the work against Arizona, but 14 points in the NFL game. If it was college, no problem. Pros, no way. Pass.
Michael?
Yeah, I think Cards cover. I mean, I do not think they win, but the Cardinals have played every team they've played this year hard, to the brink. I mean, they should be 2-1 right now if it wasn't for that massive collapse against the Giants. So they oddly haven't really had trouble scoring points. I just don't think they mean to win these games, and then they play harder than they think they're going to.
Yeah. They almost won week 1 against the Commanders. They could be easily 3-0 right now.
Like, this team is not as bad as it looks on paper. Josh Dobbs is a smart quarterback. He's takes care of the ball, and they've actually been
he's a running offense for crying out loud.
Yeah, and they've been a pretty good run team. Like, they've run the ball fairly well the last couple of games I've watched. I mean, I think the Cardinals cover. I don't think there's any chance they beat the 49ers, but I don't think anybody thought that either going into last weekend. So,
no.
14 points is a ton of points in the NFL.
Yes.
I'm going to throw this out there also.
Bears, maybe.
I'm going to throw this out there also. Don't get trapped. It's going to look real good. If you saw that at CMC, if you played 100 over the last 12 games, you'd have $70,000 in the bank. When CMC drops in this game, he's going to be like -270 for a touchdown. Please do not be stupid and play that. It looks obvious on paper, and that's exactly when it will fail.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from it.
Yeah. Hold off for a couple weeks. Let things happen naturally.
Pinky, clip that for us next week.
Yeah. I mean, it's there.
Even if he scores, it's a bad play.
I just don't think it's worth it. I agree with you. I don't think at -270 it's worth it. There's just way too much risk because they could go down there throw 2 touchdowns early, get up and go, well, we don't want to waste McCaffrey in a game like this.
Or just pick somebody else you like from the San Francisco side. Pick a Purdy at plus 500. Pick, Kittle. Arizona's terrible against the tight end. I think Debo got in last week, so maybe he's off the board. But like Eli Mitchell, probably plus 300, something like pick somebody besides CMC.
Samuel might be back as well. I don't know his status, but
you mean Ayuk?
Yes, sorry, Ayuk. Yeah. I don't know his status, but he might be back. Yeah, just go somewhere else with it. I mean, there's all kinds of Jennings. I mean,
Ross Dwelley was on the field a lot with Ayuk out. If Ayuk's out, Ross Dwelley is probably plus 1,000 for a touchdown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like I said, this game, it's that spread is just like astronomical.
Can't do it either way. So I don't have any faith in Arizona.
No, it's like ugh. So we're gonna move on. Then we're gonna move to the Sunday night game. Chiefs at Jets. Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. Total is 42.5. Michael, you got anything on this game?
I like the Chiefs in this one. 9.5 is a lot of points, but I just don't see the Jets scoring. I mean, Zach Wilson is just not the guy, or should be the guy for anybody at this point. Not even sure he should be a backup.
They brought in Trevor Siemian today to work out.
I mean, if Siemian starts, I would think more on this game that maybe the Jets cover, just because I think him with 1 week of practice and going out there throwing the ball probably gives him a better chance than Zach Wilson at this point. But if Zach Wilson's out there and he's starting, I think Kansas City covers this. I mean, what did Wilson have last week? Like 100 yards, 140 yards? And I think Garrett Wilson did half the work for him. I know Garrett Wilson was yelling at him a lot.
Their offense obviously is not good and cannot. But their defense, on the other hand, is the absolute opposite and is really good. And I don't know. I mean, have they faced a juggernaut of offense besides Buffalo? And Buffalo did not look good against them. They faced Dallas, and they allowed some points to Dallas, but not.
Who did they play last week?
They played the Patriots. 15 points was all that was scored for the Patriots.
But they scored 10. They've scored 10 the last 2 weeks. They haven't broken 16 yet.
Yeah, I mean, do we think?
I don't know. I think the only reason they got 16 in the first game was because Aaron Rodgers played for 30 seconds. I think that boosted them by 6. I mean, they've scored 10 in the last 2 games. And honestly, I mean, so they're averaging, 12 a game?
And we
think 9.5. We don't think the Chiefs are going to get
less than 3 touchdowns.
25 points. I mean,
I get it. It is. I guess my biggest question is Taylor Swift going to be there?
It's in New Jersey.
No. So no, probably not. Randy, what do you have on this game, if anything?
I mean, this game is kind of like Zach Wilson, right? It's what he loves. It's a MILF. Mostly, I'd like to forget this game. Kansas City's going to stomp them, but you can't bet anything. Anything close to 2 touchdowns or 2 scores in the NFL for a spread, just stay away. It's already gonna get bet up too. I bet it's. You said it was minus what? 9.5, 8.5.
Yeah, I'm sure it gets to 11 or 12.
It'll be 10 or 11 by the weekend. If you're gonna bet it and you want to bet KC, bet them now. Otherwise, just stay away from it. Another pass.
I can't wait till we get later in the season where these Sunday night games and Monday night games can be flexed a little bit. Actually, I don't think the Monday night games can be, or maybe they can be, but the Sunday night games I know can be. I know beginning of the season this was Mahomes versus Rodgers, and now we're left with Mahomes versus Zach Wilson.
Did you see the meme for flex the Denver-Chicago game to Wednesday at 3 a.m.?
I did. That was yes. I agree. Do not. I know we have a Nickelodeon game with that London game this week with the Falcons and the Jaguars. Please do not put the Broncos and the Bears on Nickelodeon ever because that
You can save
is
this line.
kids discretion. I mean, it's not good at all. Kids should not be subject to watching that
They'll
material.
be pouring it out for field goals.
Slime time, yeah. Field goals only. We got anything else on this Chiefs-Jets game?
No, that's pretty nasty.
Okay. And I hate it, kind of. I mean, but at least for this foreseeable future, every time we mention Chiefs games, we're going to mention Taylor Swift. So just because it builds the algorithm, I believe.
Is that your contract?
We'll move on.
I don't get the love for this Taylor Swift thing. It feels like Nickelback from like back in the day. Nickelback was the joint, and then like 10 years later, it's like everybody thinks Nickelback was trash.
I'm pretty sure I can put Taylor Swift in the headline of the YouTube video, and it'll get more out there. But we mentioned her, so that's therefore.
I mean, I can throw in the thumbnail.
Throw her in the thumbnail, yes. With Kelsey. Make sure Kelsey's there, okay? Moving right along, Seahawks at Giants on Monday Night Football. Giants are 1.5-point favorites at home. The total is 46.5. I'm looking at this line, and I see 1.5-point favorites by the G-Men with no Saquon still. Although talk says that he could come back and play. I doubt it. Randy, start us off with this game. What do you have?
I'm going to play something incredibly stupid. This is going to be reaching way back into the bag because this dude has looked like complete dog crap since the beginning of the year. There's no line out on it yet. It won't be until Saturday or Sunday. Give me the over on Darren Waller receiving yards, whatever they come out at. Seattle is piss poor against the tight end. If there's no Saquon, who knows? I think Seattle can even probably make Daniel Jones look like a quarterback at some point this week. Seattle is just terrible against the pass, and they have been since the Legion of Boom. So whatever Waller's number is, I imagine as bad as he's played, it's probably like 35.5. I would even tease it up to 50.
I mean, Andy Dalton did have like 370 yards this weekend.
Yeah.
We still lost by 10, but he had the yardage.
Yeah, if you can get Waller, if it comes out 35.5, that would be my guess. If you can get him for like 50 yards, I just did the same thing with A.J. Brown and Jamar Chase yesterday where I teased it, both of them 100 yards. I just had a feeling that hit. That was like 100 to win 1,000. I think it's the same thing with Waller. I think he probably goes for 50-something yards, 54, 56. So, yeah, give me the not only the money line on the Waller over, but give me the tease it up to 50+.
Michael, what do you have on this game, sir?
I like the Seahawks to win. I mean, the Giants have been awful. I mean, short of a half against the Cardinals, who I think purposely tried to lose that game and then accidentally won this game this week. I don't see how they're going to beat the Seahawks. I mean, so I think you take Seahawks money line and roll with it.
Do we have anything else on
money
this game?
too.
Yeah, because somehow the Giants are favored, which blows my mind.
We can get into the locks. I mean, it's going to be a very quick segment for me this week. I've been taking like 5, 6, 10. You know, I think I went, 6 for 6 last week?
We went 9 for 12 as a whole. Fuller went 1 for 4. Is that correct?
Went 3 for 4.
I mean, you only missed one.
No, I like it better the first one.
Yeah, 3 for 4. I think Ben went. Excuse me. Sorry. Ooh. I think Ben went 2 for 4.
All I know is I had for sure Chiefs and Dolphins. There ain't no way I lost those.
I only had 4 picks. That's a short week.
Because you keep picking so many. So last week you were like, I'll try and knock it down a little bit.
I should just do that then because that was 100%. I'm just going to start doing that then.
We had 9. I think it was 9 for 12. I think Ben had a lock that it didn't seem like a lock originally, but
because you pushed him off the ledge.
I did that. That was but
which one was it?
The Atlanta game when he was like, "Oh, you know how you like Atlanta."
He lost.
And you
Atlanta,
like Detroit.
Atlanta covering.
Yeah, he also
Rams money
missed.
line.
He also missed the. Oh, he didn't lock it in though. It was the Baltimore game. I don't think he locked it though.
He didn't lock it in. He did lock in the Micah Parsons sack, and I did look that back up. And yes, Micah Parsons did have a sack. So So that was a good prop bet for him on that one as well. That I didn't play, and I don't know if anybody else played that either. But
I hope you wrote down my locks, Pinky, because I don't know if I remember them.
you better, brother, because I did not. Because we didn't say lock on anything right now yet. So
I'm gonna be lame this week for locks.
okay,
Real lame.
So just like I said, Ben not being here, I have his locks. I will post them on the video in the comment section, or actually in the title of the video when I do the editing. I do have one of his locks in my head, and it is going to be actually part of the parlay. And then y'all will give me your locks for the games, and we will build this 3-leg parlay as we do every week. 2 out of 3 on those. So Randy, Fuller, one of y'all start. Lions, Packers, anything to lock?
Pass.
Nope.
Okay. Ben does lock in Green Bay at +1. So I'm going to put that in the parlay.
There's one L.
Yeah. Falcons and Jaguars.
Pass.
Anything?
Pass.
Yes. Dolphins, Bills. Anything?
Pass.
I'm locking Dolphins to win, money line.
Dolphins, lock, money line. Steelers, Texans. Anything?
Pass.
Pass.
Rams, Colts.
Pass.
Pass.
Vikings, Panthers.
Pass.
I'm going to tease Minnesota down to -2.5 and lock that.
Did you
I
want
don't like
Justin? Did you want Jefferson on that? Did you want Jefferson's receiving line? Because I know you were heavy on him.
God, it probably put up 150 versus.
I'd imagine he comes out of like what 87, 88. Probably is what they put him at.
I don't
Maybe
see
a little
him
higher.
over 100. He's averaging 150 a game.
Might be like 93. I don't like. You never see anybody over 100. Even Tyreek Hill never really gets to 100. You could probably get 100 at plus money, like plus 104, plus 110, something like that.
Oddly enough, we're actually in the top 10 in yards given up on the air. I mean, we're only giving up 192 yards a game.
We moving on?
I'm gonna pass on it. I don't like anything.
Okay. Buccaneers, Saints.
Pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Commanders, Eagles.
Pass.
I'm gonna lock in Philly again. I'm gonna roll with it. 3 for 3
You mean to cover?
to cover it. I think it was at -8.5 right now.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Philly cover. I know it's ambitious, but that team just looks good, man. I mean, they still what did they win by last night? 12?
Well, they could have won by more. They just stopped.
Yeah.
They ran out the entire fourth
14.
quarter.
They won by 14 last night, and that was at Bucks. They're gonna be at home versus the Commanders. Yeah, I like -8.5. I'm locking Philly in.
I mean, I backed up the truck last night on Philly. I was just 100% confident they were going to win.
Broncos, Bears.
Pass. Which they probably should not do in that game.
I mean, they shouldn't run either.
Mm-mm.
I mean, the Bears signed Dante Foreman, and they were like, "Nope, don't even worry about coming in. Don't run it. Don't do nothing."
Bengals, Titans.
Pass.
Pass.
Ravens, Browns.
Pass.
Nope. Pass.
Raiders, Chargers.
I guess I'll have to lock something in at some point.
Yes, I did. I actually did
Now
that.
that we're in the 4:00 games.
I mean, I don't feel like great about it. And if you want to tease it down, tease it down a couple of points, something like that. But I guess lock me in for the over on 47.5. I think the game literally gets to 48. So if you want to tease it down to a couple of points to be on the safe side, I'm not going to be mad at you.
Well, 27-21 action, something like that.
Yeah. Like if you want to get it like 45.5. 45.5 is really where I want to be at, but I thought that'd be a cop out is it a cop out to take the alternate total?
It's not, but I mean, what do
Shoot,
you
put me
want?
at the 45.5 then.
I mean, you'd rather be right and have worse odds than be wrong.
Yeah, give me the 45.5.
Yeah.
I think it really gets to 48. Like, I think the number's spot on, but I feel a lot better at 45.5.
45
It's just an ugly week.
No surprises here. I will not be locking anything else in the rest of the way. I've locked.
I got one more lock. We can go ahead and hurry this thing up.
And I'm done.
I got one more lock, and we can wrap this thing up.
Yeah, which game is it?
Yeah, let me fastball it real quick. Okay. Patriots, Cowboys.
Pass.
Cardinals, 49ers.
Pass.
Chiefs, Jets.
Pass.
Monday Night Football, Seattle.
Darren Waller over his receiving yards. If it's 35.5.
When it comes out.
I like it all the way up to 50. I think he gets to like 54, 56. Log me in for that. If he comes out at 35.5, you can probably get that 50 at like plus 2 something. Which that looked real good last night when I did it. So I got 2 locks this week. That might be the lowest you see from me all season. I don't like any of these games.
Averaging 44 a game. I don't think it's too ambitious. Unfortunately, he's not hit 44. He's not hit 40 in 2 out of the 3 games. So
I say that if I were doing something this week, I'm just going to play DFS. I'm just going to run a couple of lineups, sit back and try to watch the games. Maybe live bet some stuff, but I don't see a whole lot to love in this week.
I would definitely be conservative off of our. I don't know.
Nothing conservative right here in the parlay, gentlemen. It's a plus 620 parlay. I have
that one, yeah, but I'd be conservative money wise on a lot of these this week. It's just it's rough.
Shout out, like we've hit 2 parlays out of 3. Like again, like
yeah.
Do you realize how great that is?
Yeah,
they're all
because those 2 parlays already make up any losses you have during the course of taking our bets. Basically, I mean, if you play the same unit, you know.
If you put $100 on the parlays, you could go the rest of the season over and basically be out of like $100.
Mm-hmm.
If you just played the 3 weeks already, so even if we hit one more, like you're good for the season.
Yeah, because you're already at it was 476 and 5.
It was 576.
No. Last week was not. It's 476.
Oh, I thought week 1 was like 570 something.
Week 1 was, yes. But this week's is going to be plus 620 because we got some plus bets on here. So parlay is Dolphins money line Fuller, the over 45.5 alternate for the Charger or for the game total for the Chargers and Raiders, Randy, and Green Bay Packers. Ben wants it locked in at +1. I cannot get it at +1 on FanDuel at all. There's no way to do that. So +1.5. You can
stay away from the parlay. Stay away from the parlay.
Packers +1.5. That is a plus 620 parlay. Whatever your discretion is.
Yeah, this sounds like a week where you just fiddle with a few dollars and see if it doesn't.
Just tease that over in the Los Angeles game. Take the under on it. Tease it up. Take the under, and go opposite of our parlay this week, and I bet you win.
Flip it. Do that. Yeah.
Buffalo's finna win money line. Detroit's about to win money line.
Detroit spread.
Tease that other game up, or just leave it out altogether.
Mm-hmm. Again, with discretion, gentlemen and ladies. I mean, just go have fun. You're already up some money for the first 3 weeks if you run anything we've ran. So this week, back to another free play week, I guess you can say.
Player props. Look at player props this week because there's a lot of spots where those might be good, but the game lines are just trash.
Yeah, remember, video on Tuesday. So if you want us live, please subscribe to this channel. Get us to do this live on Tuesday nights with you, so we can have some interaction. Y'all can ask us questions, and we can do things. Ask us questions throughout the week in the comments on the videos. You know, we see that. We know if you comment on week 1's video, you know, and it's week 4, it's okay.
I say we just call it. I say we go live like week 4, week 6. I'd say we just pop a video on there.
It is week 4, Randy.
All right, so not week 4 then. You're really going to throw me under the bus?
Really?
Week 6, we'll just go live. Like week 6, just throw it up there. We'll go live. Give the people what they don't want.
Yeah. Nobody asked for it, but we were going to give it to you
All right,
anyway.
put it in their face, see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of reminds me of middle school.
Oh, okay. Interesting enough. Gentlemen, any final thoughts, or we heading out?
I hate week 4 to the point where I didn't even know it was week 4.
We hate week 4, London calling, all these games.
Bet light, save your money. Have a good weekend.
We'll talk to you next week, Joe. Everybody.
Yep. See you guys.
See ya.